Hi friends, welcome to Knowledge Share. Today it's a continuation of PnP Listview. So today what we are going to see is how we can enhance the list view with context menus and paging. These two features comes with a list view which was provided as a part of PnP Controls by the community. The paging here I am using PnP Pagination control. So let us see how we can achieve this. So this is a context menu page on the PnP SPFX controls. This is the link where you can learn more about how to add a context menu in the PnP GitHub page, where here you can find the sample code and how they have defined the different actions, the list view column, and what could be the result based on the above sample. So here they have used the dialog and then they have passed in which action buttons are clicked. So maybe in our demo I will use the console window and then I will pass in which key and what are all the different parameters we can get based on the selected item or the item where the actions are clicked. So this is one of the feature we are going to see today. The another feature is this is the pagination control which is provided as part of the PnP SPFX controls. So we can use this control in a combination with the list view to achieve the pagination. And there are few other properties which we need to configure for this pagination control, like current page, total number of pages, and what we need to do on change, whether we need to call a callback method or what we need to do, and limiter the number of pages to show before the ellipsis icon, and whether we need to hide the first page jump or last page jump, and limiter icon. You can even provide a limiter icon, and the icon name is what you can do is you can just give the Fluent UI icon name. So I have also created a blog post on this, extending the list view control with all the information whatever I'm going to share it today in this video. So I have already prepared a documentation on this with a sample code, and each and every instructions I have put it here and what all the changes I have done it. So you can also go through this blog post and then try the sample. Along with this, I have given the reference URL and also the GitHub code repo link where you can find this sample as well as many other samples using PnP SPFX control. So let us see the demo first. So here I am using case master list, which is a different list where it has a case number, the users, and different columns like choice column, people picker. So these are all the columns I am using it on the case master list. So my code is running on the back end. So when I refresh it, so it will load the items from the case master, which has around 100 items. And if you see it here, I have enabled selection, I have enabled grouping on the list view. And the two main features which we are going to see is the context menu. So if you see the context menu, you should compare it with your SharePoint default list items which have the same structure, same appearance. So when I click on this context menu, so the current item is selected and you can see different actions, where these are all the custom actions which are defined in the code. And you can also disable the action based on user permission. For example, here I have disabled it by default, but you can disable it based on the status or any other field, or based on the users, or even you can hide, make it visible or invisible to the users based on their permissions. And this is one of the feature. And the other thing is pagination. So instead of loading all the items in a single page, so I am just iterating through different pages. So for each page, I think I have given 10 items. So if you click on this, is the limiter symbol. So if you click on this, so you can navigate to the other pages. and this is the go to first and go to last page. So this is what how we can enhance the list view. So when I go to the developer tool, let me open the developer tool. So if you see here the context menu, so here I have just assigned the click. So when an item is selected, so you can see the selected item details here. The entire item is passed in. When I click on the view case, so you can see the view key is clicked and the argument I am passing, it's the case ID argument. So like this you can pass different. So for example, if I click on this edit case, the key is edit and the argument I passed is the case status argument, which is approved. So for share case, I have clicked on share and the argument which I passed is the business segment. So likewise, you can pass the entire item or you can even pass which property of the item is required to do the functionality. And on clicking this, here I have just returned the information to the browser console. But on the click, you can even open a dialog, panel or redirect, or even in this page if you want to do any other thing, any other functionality or any other business logic, you can do it. So this is how you can handle the context menu and the paging. So let us see how it is structured in the code. If you look at the code, I am using the same ListView demo web part, and here instead of calling a ListView demo component, I have just created a one more component called extend ListView PnP paging. It's just a TSX file. So I'm just calling this component, passing the same property. There are no other differences except the component. So when we go to the component, right? So here I have added a couple of other references for grouping, group order from the ListView control. And if you see the browser, I have customized this created by column using the persona. So that persona is coming from Office UI Fabric React. And I have also created a custom component called ListView context menu, which I'll be sharing it later. And for the pagination, I am inheriting from the PnP Pagination. So here the states for displaying or hiding the loading and the list items to hold the entire list item collection. And these three states are with respect to the paging. So paged items, when I click on a page, so what are all the items that need to be displayed on that particular page is stored in this paged items. The total size, items per page, the page size is calculated, and we are also storing which page currently it is. And these are all the view fields. So why I am showing the view fields is after the case ID, this is the case ID column. After the case ID, in order to create the context menu, we need to have one more column where you can have just given an empty name, empty display name, and that is the reason you are just seeing nothing here. And in the render method, I have just assigned this ListView context menu control, and I am just passing the entire row item as a property called item. So if you go through this ListView context menu, so this is simple normal functional component where I have just declared the icon button and menu icon props. I have given the icon name as more vertical, and menu props as should focus on mount, which is true, and items. So this items have three main attributes, which is key, name, on click. So key is the first menu has the key as view. That is what it is returning when you click on the action. The name view case, which will be displayed to the user. On click, where the callback method, here I am passing the case ID. So for this component, I have already passed the entire row item as an item. which is received as a property for this component, and from this item I am just using the case ID. The divider, so ContextMenu type.divider. So if you see here, after view case, you can see a horizontal line. So that is a divider, so that you can segregate your actions based on the divider. Next is the edit, the same. So except the only difference is I'm just passing the case status value, and business segment is for share. And the last is the delete. Here I have just given as disabled true, which is by default. So whenever you see the delete, it's not clickable. You cannot click it because it's disabled. The same thing what you can do is based on the permission or based on any other business logic, you can even hide or add new context menu, disable the existing context menu. So it's up to you. You can customize it on your own way. So this is the context menu control, and here I have rendered it. And one more thing what I would like to show is how you can render any other control. So here if you see, I have rendered the persona. I have just given the title and the image URL based on the email, and that is the reason you are seeing the persona icon here with the image. And if there are no image, then you will see a normal user logo. So likewise, for each and every field, every cell can be customized with your own design. This is the fields, and group fields is based on the title, and this is the method get list items, where it is fetching the items from case master and then assigning it to the state. And get selected item is the method. Whenever you select an item in the list view, then this method will be executed. On page update, so this is the method which is called whenever there is an update to the list items. So I have used use effect. So whenever there is a change in the list items, this on page update is triggered. So here it will calculate the current page, what is the start item based, and then page size, end item based on the page size, and then it will filter the items from the overall item based on the page size, which is the start item and the end item, and then it will assign it to the paged items. So here, instead of the state list items, I am just passing this paged items to the list view, so that the current page items will be displayed in the list view. In the previous demo, I am just passing the overall items so that it will display all the items. So here we need the paged item, and that is the reason I am having two separate state values, one to store all the items and another to store the particular paged items. And that paged item state value is passed to the list view. And inside another container, I have just added this pagination control, and on change, I have just triggered this page update. So whenever there is a change in the page, this page update is triggered, and whenever the component loads, the list items is assigned, and once the list items are assigned, then the page update is triggered. This will be for one-time rendering, and this is on every page click. And limiter is 3, so you can see only 3 pages number, and after that you have to click on that ellipsis symbol 3 dots to move on to the other pages. So this is the overall approach I have used for creating the context menu and the PnP pagination. I hope you guys have learned something new. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching this video. If you really like my video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a good day. Cheers.